Hello, everybody. Hello. It's lovely to be here again. It's Jackie from St. Leonard's Reiki, and I would like to come and speak about Reiki now because I realise that I've been talking about all sorts of other things, but I haven't really spoken about Reiki. So that's crazy. So let's talk about Reiki, and I'm going to try and concentrate on Reiki for a little bit. I didn't want to make this primarily a Reiki channel. I wanted to make it a well-being, spiritual Reiki, to embrace everything that is energy and is for our wealth and our health and our happiness. So, and I think so much is linked in with that. It's enormous. So today, I want to talk about the questions that I receive almost weekly from students and from practitioners that really are not feeling it or are worried or fearful that they're not doing it right. They're not doing Reiki right. I've got written down a few things. Am I doing Reiki right? I think I'm doing it wrong. I'm not feeling anything yet. Should I be feeling something? Should I be seeing colour? I'm not seeing colour. I must be doing something wrong, and this is just constant. And I completely understand why you're feeling that, if you're feeling that, because I felt all that myself, and do feel that. But we have to understand, and I need you to understand that is us getting confused with Reiki and what Reiki is all about. So let's just get back to the center. What is Reiki? Reiki is everywhere. It's everything. It's this higher universal intelligence that is all around us and is within us, and it's within every cell of our body. It's all knowing. It's everywhere. It's a higher consciousness. It's our higher self. It's within our DNA, our cellular programming, and it doesn't really require anything from us other than us getting out of the way. And I think that is the problem. It's so simple that we overcomplicate it and we can't understand the simplicity. And there's lots to learn. So I teach Reiki 1, Reiki 2, Reiki Master Practitioner, Reiki Teacher, and I do other workshops and talk about other things that go off from it. There's so much to learn now. Don't we love that? We have an insatiable appetite to be learning, to be understanding, making sense of things, analysing things, overthinking things, being so left brain, trying to logically understand what's happening, and very ego-centered. We can't get away from the mind trying to process what it is that's going on and wanting to be involved in some way. We can't get away from our ego, which is always driving us, because that's what makes us human. We are walking, talking balls of egotistical desires and wishes, and that's what makes us human, and causes so many problems, because we get so confused by what we want, don't we, all the time. But with Reiki, when we're being a Reiki practitioner and we're stepping into that place of doing Reiki, being a channel for Reiki, a conduit for Reiki, that's all we're being, guys. We have to remember that, and it's coming back to that place. And it's difficult, because when you do your training, there's symbols to learn. There's all this understanding, but actually it's in the understanding of Reiki that it brings us full circle back to that first lesson that we have, that Reiki is just us stepping in to that beautiful place of quiet, of meditation, of stillness, of peace. And in that moment of us becoming a channel and surrendering ourself, so Jackie is doing Reiki, and when Jackie does Reiki, she leaves Jackie. She leaves Jackie in the chair, and she becomes a Reiki practitioner, and she becomes a channel, and she becomes almost like just an intuitive energy being that isn't thinking, and isn't really feeling, I suppose, because feeling then takes us back to the ego. But I have an awareness. So I have an awareness of what's happening. So as I'm being a conduit, as I'm being this channel, there is this awareness of what's happening, but I'm very much just in flow. You're just in this flow state, and you know when you're in the flow state because it's so gorgeous. It's just blissful. I think it's that feeling that you tap into when you've lost all concept of yourself, and you feel you. It's almost like you are observing yourself. So that's the ultimate state of meditation. And that's the joy of Reiki. The joy of Reiki is it allows us to enter this state. And most of us go through our life without even touching upon meditation or knowing how to do it. But in learning Reiki, which is such an easy healing, I wanted to say, it's not a skill. It's just it's a technique for healing, for enabling self healing and the healing of others that we learn. It is definitely just an observation of what's happening, but not attaching ourselves to it. So let me just look at my notes and make sure I'm covering everything. Yeah, it is a being. It is a being. It's very much being rather than doing. So when people say, am I doing it right? I don't know if I'm doing it right. I think I must be doing it wrong. Yeah, we're not doing. We're not doing. That isn't Reiki. If we're doing something, we're not being a channel. So I think that's the hurdle. That's the hurdle. People can't understand the concept that they're actually not doing anything. They are just being. But then the fear comes in. And I totally understand this. I'm not saying ridiculous questions. No, not at all. This is the hurdle that we're all trying to understand on a daily basis. That actually we don't have to control. We don't have to do. And when we get that, oh my goodness, life does flow for us. So when we're being a Reiki practitioner, we are being because the client is doing the work. Now, they might look as though they're asleep. They might just look as though they're having a lovely, relaxing time lying on the bed in front of us or the chair. But actually, oh my goodness, it's all happening deeply, within the cells. During a Reiki treatment, the healing is happening naturally without the client even knowing about it and without us even knowing about it. We are just allowing, we're both entering this state of surrender. And we're both entering that place of connection because we're close, our energies are connecting. And asking for this magnificent healing to manifest itself in however it needs to, for the greatest good, for the highest good for this person in front of us. And we really have no more control than that. Now, we might find ourselves sensing, experiencing, feeling something happening, and then we might go into interpreting, what does that mean? We can do that, but really, whilst we're doing the Reiki, we're really just trying to detach ourselves from it and just have a mental awareness that that's going on, and then let it go and just carry on with your treatment. After the session, you can ponder and think about what came up, if anything did come up for you, if you felt anything as the energy was passing through you. Maybe you can have a chat with your client and they probably want to have a chat with you about anything they experienced. But you don't have to feel anything. Absolutely not. And that doesn't mean that you failed. And that doesn't mean that you're not doing it right or you're not being a Reiki practitioner. So we definitely don't have to be hearing things, seeing things, sensing colour. Absolutely not. But that might happen. Because when our bodies receive Reiki, when our bodies draw Reiki, when our bodies are healing, and they are in every moment, our bodies, the cells in our body, they vibrate to frequency, they vibrate to energy, and color has energy, frequency, sound has energy and frequency, and everything. There's constantly healing going on, and this is why we do sense things. We might sense that a color is being drawn through, or that an energy is being drawn through, or something is being released. We might sense, and that's why we talk about scanning the energy and feeling the energy and working in the aura, and that's why we pick up on tingling and heat and cold and maybe a breeze, and absolutely, absolutely. And it's wonderful when we do feel these things, because I suppose that's confirmation for us, isn't it? And that excites us, and we're, yeah, and we can't help but be personally involved, because 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 that's feedback, and who doesn't need feedback? We've always desired feedback from when we were born. We constantly need reassurance and affirmation and feedback that we're on the right track, that we're doing things right. So we completely understand why people reach out and say, what's going on here? I'm not feeling anything. Absolutely, we're just needing feedback. And for me to say, you are doing it right, absolutely, just carry on. I suppose, doesn't always go down well, but it's just understanding that we don't need to understand everything. I'm sitting here and I'm recording this via an app, and I'm sitting on, not sitting on, I'm using a computer, a laptop. It's plugged in to a socket, and I'm going to download this and I'm going to put it on an app where you can view it, and you might view it instantly the minute I download it. You might view it a week later, a month later, a year later. But our energies, you are receiving my energy, and we're linking in, and I am transmitting what I want to say, and I feel that I'm channeling these words. Don't think they're particularly coming from me. Now, I don't understand any of that I said. I don't understand how the laptop works. I don't know how the words and the pictures, I don't know how it all works. So again, use Reiki like you use technology or anything else in life. Have a certain amount of trust and faith. And when I say faith, I don't mean religion, because Reiki, when we learn Reiki and when I teach Reiki, it is non-religious. And by that, I mean it encompasses all religions, because it's beyond religion. We're talking about the universe, the way the universe works, and our electrical circuitry and the cells and the DNA, and that's personal to our own beliefs, isn't it? So yes, as we do with other things, let's just have a certain amount of acceptance that this is amazing, this Reiki, but I'm never really going to understand how it really works. And I think that's okay to say that, because the minute you say that, that almost sort of releases you from feeling that you're doing it wrong, because you can't do any wrong. If you have, fair enough, if you if you're just thinking the whole way through a treatment about a problem that you've got, or what you're going to do tomorrow, meet a friend and eat tonight and watch on TV, yeah, that's doing it wrong. That's definitely not being a clear channel for Reiki. So yes, in that sense, you could do it wrong. But if you're really, really trying, and you know you're protecting your energy, and you're thinking about your self care, and you're entering that space with a client, and you're clearing your thoughts and coming to the breath and losing yourself in just being a channel and doing a treatment from the head to the toe and working in the aura and the body and everything you've learned, and you just want the best for that client, and you're tuning in with Reiki, you're asking that, and then you're just giving thanks, then absolutely you're not doing it wrong. You're doing it perfectly. And it might just be that you just need to do it more. And I think that's really the key, because, oh my goodness, if I don't do something for months on end, I'm going to be a little bit apprehensive about doing something because I can't quite remember. You know, if I'm making a dinner that I haven't made for ages, I might go and look the cookbook out because I can't remember the recipe. I can't remember. It's not going to be like second nature. But if I did a Reiki treatment yesterday or the day before or last week, then I'm probably feeling quite confident about doing my next Reiki treatment today. So that could be what's happening. Yeah, if you've just learnt Reiki and it's all really new, and you've just done your first treatment with a family member or your first client, you're bound to be having these questions. That's normal, absolutely normal. And you know what? It's wonderful because it shows that you have this vested interest and you're desperately wanting to be the best you can be, as in a Reiki practitioner. And that's wonderful. And that's natural and normal. So yes, don't beat yourself up about not doing it right. But just know that it's just natural for us to be in this fear state. Unfortunately, that's where most of us are a lot of the time, because that's how we've been programmed to not become, not make a fool of ourselves, not be in a traumatic situation. So we're always looking for danger. We're always looking to protect ourselves. So it's unfortunately it's quite natural to be in a fear state, but we need to come away from that, which is generally in the head, and move to the heart. So really, my advice to you would be to form your own practice. Form your own practice for before your sessions. If you know that you have a client or a family member or a friend coming around for Reiki, get yourself into that right space. And this can be sitting and meditating, it could be doing some breathing exercises, doing some brushing of your energy, grounding meditation, just literally pulling in white light, thinking of color, filling yourself up, um, and getting back into that space of how inspired you felt when you learned Reiki, and how this is all so exciting, and I can't wait to do Reiki. And the minute, just know that the minute you start a Reiki treatment, you leave behind your questioning, um, egotistical, analytical self. You leave them in the chair and you turn into this channel. And it's such a beautiful space, and you will just do that. And in any moment that you find you're not doing that, you just center yourself again. You remind yourself that there's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. I just need to be. I just need to be. And if by putting a certain CD on music tune helps you, then do that. I have always done that. I've always used certain music, and it's been a bit of a joke in my Reiki shares. You know, it's always the same album. Reiki Gold, by the way, by Llewellyn. And but it's because literally I almost just melt and just go into that state because my body recognizes it. I think I'm like Pavlov and the bell. Yeah, I almost just become this channel for Reiki because it's that music again. So if you can help yourself with that, put some music on. Like me, I always have a sort of altar where I sit for a moment, and that's for me. That's just some flowers, a candle, and a nice scent. But remember, you have to check with your client about things like that. But you need to do things for yourself. Other people might want to work with tarot cards and just shuffle some cards or oracle cards and tune into guidance. And just sit for a while at your altar and ask for your guides to come around you and to feel inspired by connecting with whoever it is you want to draw in, to just have a moment of contemplation and meditation. And definitely when I teach Reiki 2 to my practitioners, I talk about a little ritual that we do, which I've posted on YouTube actually, just for a moment, part of my Reiki teaching. And we do use Gasho to center ourselves and to go through that sort of moment of reflection of what is it we're doing, what are we doing, what do we need to say, what do we need to call in, what do I need to think about? Okay, now I'm asking to be intuitively guided. I'm going to my brow, my third eye, and I ask now, you're moving away from you. You're setting your intention, what you want to do, and now you're saying, okay, I'm going to let go of my conscious self and it's over to my subconscious. I'm letting go and then connecting with your client, and that's it. You've released that sense of control. You've released that sense of control. So I think I've said quite a lot there. I'm not quite sure if I've gone off on a tangent, but let me look at my notes. I think that's it. I'm just talking about faith and trust, surrendering, being, how every cell in your body is picking up on that sound frequency, that color frequency, and this client, this person in front of you, they're doing all the work, albeit deeply, unconsciously, but we're tapping in and we are going to that place of surrender and asking for healing. We're asking for the highest good. We're asking for this magical, mystical experience to take place. And remember, that's why you've been attuned. This is why you've been attuned. There's a lot of misunderstanding about the attunement. Why do I need a Reiki master to attune me? Why do I need to go through this attunement? Why, if Reiki is everywhere and is everything, why do I have to have an attunement? Well, it is a sense of you asking to be able to perform Reiki treatments, not just for yourself, but for others, and asking that when you do let go and surrender, this is able to be performed, because during the attunement, your body has been aligned to be able to be this channel. Your energy centers have been opened, and programmed symbols have been downloaded into your energetic system. All sorts happens in the attunement that the Reiki master does to enable this to occur in your body, whether distantly or in person. And so when you come to your Reiki treatments, you literally can just hand yourself over to the Reiki, because you've been programmed to perform this without any conscious thought. It's already been programmed. So yeah, that's an important point. I'm glad I remembered that. That's what the attunement is all about. Yeah, and I've just written there, it's also us really, really working, connecting with our sixth sense, our our intuition, which really we've forgotten. in this day and age, we see, you know, it's not really spoken too much about. Whereas, you know, in past civilizations and days gone by, people were very intuitive. They were very aware of their intuition, and they worked with it. They had to. They didn't have this connection. They had to sit and meditate and listen and link in and anything that came through them, they would just note and 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 realize that that's guidance and they must just follow that. Okay, so I hope that that has helped. Probably ought to stop there. Yes, so please, if I hope that's helped, comment below if it hasn't, if it's confused you even further. But please do write any questions that you might have relating to Reiki or anything else spiritually well-being content. But yeah, in this video we're talking about Reiki and the fears that Reiki practitioners, Reiki students have whilst they're doing a Reiki treatment, and in particular, is it working? Does it work? Am I doing it wrong? So if you have a question, then I could think about that, and I could put some content together, and I could maybe answer that in the next video. So I hope that's helped. Go away and be an amazing Reiki practitioner. Be an amazing gift to the world. We need that right now. The world really needs more healing, more balancing. We're all really going through a huge transitional process at the moment, whether you're feeling it or not. So whatever you're doing, whether it's Reiki for yourself, you are helping everyone around you by balancing yourself. It absolutely has an effect on all your loved ones around you and anyone that you have an energetic cord with. It's energy, and we send out the love. So wishing you all love. I will be with you again. I think it seems to be like a Sunday thing that I'm posting now. That seems to be my day. I hope that's a good day for you. But anyway, whenever you watch this, lots of love, and take care of yourself, and remember your Reiki self-treatments. Bye then. Bye for now.